Wait a minute. Does this look right? I thought we should go left, and we went right.
Is it possible to drive from Poland all the way to India?
I don't remember any mountains.
I think we made a wrong turn.
You gotta be kidding.
I think we're in India. This is taking forever.
You can't get it out of your mind. And if you're not up to par, you're second class. That's what the media is telling you is normal.
TV, radio, movies are great.
There's good stuff and there's bad stuff.
I know the difference.
It's a free country. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, don't watch it or listen to it then.
But it's pretty hard not to watch or listen to it.
TV, radio, movies, billboards, magazines, they're all part of the media and they're everywhere.
And teenagers especially watch and listen to hours and hours of it every day.
Does it affect you?
Carla works in television. People like her are very influential.
I think TV's telling you it's normal to make sure before you go out on a date you have a condom. It's normal to just know when you go to a party you better have a designated driver because everyone's going to be drinking. You know, it's normal to have alcohol at a party. It's normal to be physically intimate in a teenage relationship. That's what the media is telling you is normal. It's normal to want to dress like what the models are wearing in the magazine, and if you're not up to par, you're second class.
Welcome to Hollywood, the land of media.
They fantasize and dream about sleeping with their president.
LeMaire is a hairstylist of the stars. She does the hair of major celebrities and studio executives. She's one of the best around. In fact, she was voted one of the 10 best hairstylists in the whole world.
Well, I think now, because we live in a visual world, okay? When I was listening to rock and roll music, okay, you would hear the record, and if you liked it, you would go out and buy it. You didn't even know what the group looked like. You didn't even know the name of the group. You'd go, well, kind of goes da-da-da-da, na-na-na-na-na, and the guy would go, oh, yeah, like, okay, this is what you should, and you'd go for it. Now, it doesn't matter what anybody looks like or what they're even saying. If they make a video and the video's got the right lights, the right kind of chicks in it, and everybody's moving around and grooving and everything, you go, oh wow, I don't know if I really like this song, but you keep hearing it and hearing it and hearing it, and all of a sudden it's humming. And it's one of those things like, it's a small world. You can't get it out of your mind, and you go, I've got to get this record. And then you start listening to it, and not really realizing what the lyrics are, what it's about.
I don't like violent movies, but I like realistic movies.
I think they make a big deal about things that shouldn't. There's no point in making a big deal about it.
I like it. They're good, they're bad. It depends on the viewer. It depends on your upbringing.
The media's pretty bad because, they tell things that aren't accurate.
I think some of it is unrealistic. Some is real, but some is unrealistic.
Robert is a pretty smart guy. He's involved in a lot of things.
This year, he's president of his Junior Achievement chapter. He's also done a lot of thinking about the media.
Your mind is like a refrigerator, and your whole body is basically a consumer. But your mind particularly is like a refrigerator. What you put in it, you're gonna get out of it. Basically simple. If you constantly feed yourself with negative things, you're gonna export out negative things.
I can ask you, okay, sometimes you feel like in that, sometimes you don't. Okay, I can say to you, milk, it does a body good. You know that commercial. Or I love what you do for me, Toyota. Melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Did you sit down and learn those things? Did you sit down and study those commercials? No, you learn them. You learn them through repetition. You learn them through recognition. The media teaches you, whether you realize it or not, whether you like it or not, the media teaches you things.
Larry has serious opinions on media. He thinks you're definitely affected by what you watch.
I think you can be true and it's not going to affect you. It's definitely going to affect you. I mean, granted, you should be aware of the sexuality of the opposite sex and the intimacy, but I think the explicitness, I mean, yeah, you're aware of what I'm talking about. The nudity, the in-bed groping, the wrestling, I mean, the almost actual love-making scenes. I think that has to affect a child.
You have to see what you want to ingest. You know, I think when I go to watch something, I think, you know, that it's going to make an impression in my being. A visual thing, it makes an implant into you, okay? And that thing stays in you. And I think that when you're watching something and that comes in, later on, you can take on that thing that you've seen. Do you know what I'm saying? If you see violent stuff all the time, I don't see you becoming like some Betty Crocker cooking person.
LeMaire has massive amounts of signed celebrity pictures in her salon. She's even been in the media herself, and she knows how it works.
I think people want to see how far they can go. I think people think that that's what is going to make a big sale.
Here's the deal. All media, TV, movies, music, billboards, have one purpose: to make money.
If you won't buy the movie ticket, they don't make the money.
If you don't watch the TV show, they can't sell the commercial to make money.
If you don't buy the CD, they don't record the song.
So they have to catch your attention, or shock you, or pull you in somehow. Some of the best ways to pull you in are with sex, violence, and a lot of other sensational things teenagers have been convinced are normal.
The more they tell you, you have to see this movie or watch this TV show or buy the CD, the more money they make.
They spend millions and billions of dollars researching what you as a 15-year-old like, what you will listen to, what you will watch.
Don't assume that that's the norm, because it's not the norm. In most cases, those are extreme situations that you're seeing. They have to be extreme to, I think, to get the public's attention.
There are thousands of producers, directors, companies out there who are paying billions of dollars for somebody to research and find out what it is that affects you. And they're using it in the beer commercials, in the television shows, in the movies. Obviously, no question, media affects you. If it didn't, they wouldn't be paying the billions of dollars they're spending.
So what do you suggest we do? Never watch television, go to the movies, or listen to the radio?
Yeah, Ali, check, everything's about sex and violence.
Trust me, no one's gonna manipulate me.
Regina agrees with that. She refused to be manipulated. When the media was pushing for condom distribution in her school, she hated the idea.
So she went on the national news to say, no way.
It wasn't a big deal because I guess I was kind of driven by my convictions, and I just wanted to, I couldn't, see something that I felt so strongly about and not do anything about it, try anything to do about it. And they say, okay, you're coming on, 3, 2, 1, and then they had this earpiece in my ear, and I was just going, oh, okay. And it wasn't really fair, and I didn't really like it because they seemed very for the condom thing, first of all, because they're going to be biased at least. I thought CNN, might not have been. But then the lady who was interviewing us, she called me naive and stuff on TV, and so it was just really irritating.
She was on the news, so what's next? By a TV station?
I know a lot of that stuff is bad for you, but it's everywhere. There's nothing you can do about it.
You take sex, immediately you're going to associate that with people like Madonna. Well, she's cool, I like her. She's having sex, nothing's happened to her, so I have sex, nothing's gonna happen to me. What's up with that? That happens. So I tie that into that way. It's a brainwash. Sex is glamorous because they're having it. And I love them because they're my favorite people.
In high school, how much TV and media have influenced us, the clothes we wear, just like fads that come in and out, MTV especially.
Sometimes they can be real jerks because they get into people's faces and they go too far.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it keeps you informed, and then it keeps you entertained.
All the time they blow things out of proportion.
I stay away from things that are real sexual or real violent or that are twisted or that are just real stupid.
A lot of things they kind of glorify different people, and kind of media is not very, you know, they say they're unbiased, but they tend to be biased, and they can give you images of something, you know, just of any topic, and try to make one person look bad while the other doesn't look as bad, just from the way they portray the events that happen.
What you see with regards to the violence and sex on TV is not the norm. It's usually an exception to the norm. And I would advise you to consider the consequences of the actions that you see. Quite often you don't see the real consequence. You see a real sketchy view of what the consequences are to sexual acts and to the violence.
When you do come across those magazines or those billboards or whatever television show you watch, again, think about what you're seeing, process the information. You know, don't just let it come into your ears and into your mind, into your thoughts. Think about it.
I think you can convey the feeling you're trying to. I think that of romance, of love, of caring without being as explicit as you tend to see in the movies and TV.
Like MTV or whatever, they always show a lot of rock bands or just the whole popularity of pro-choice and stuff, and just that whole movement saying, oh yeah, well, all the rock stars believe it, and there's going to be this album out, and stuff like that, and just showing that everyone who's with it, everyone who's cool is for abortion, stuff like that. That really bugs me. And then, like the condom things, like you've got Magic Johnson and all those, you know, top celebrities and influential people saying, you know, this is how it is, this is how we believe, therefore you should believe this too.
I mean, you only have a certain amount of time on this planet. Why waste 2 hours of your life watching something that is just going to do nothing for you and pull you down and give you a bunch of images that are negative, that aren't positive role models?
Try to reduce the level of negativeness that you put inside yourself. You know, start getting more positive things inside you. Start thinking about more positive things.
I would read the reviews on it. If it says nudity or harsh language or violence, I would stay away from it, because all it's going to do is dilute any good values that you could have in your heart. Okay, because basically we know what is right and what's wrong. And when you're young and you're 15 years old, those things, you're very impressionable and you take everything in, and you're emotional because everything's changing. You're not quite an adult, you're not a child anymore. And it's very important that the things that you take in.
But even still in all, I've been learning to just reduce what I watch, reduce what I take in. And all around has made me a better person, period, all around. You know, so I'm not speaking from a parental point of view, I'm speaking from a personal experience of myself. Because I've had the experience of watching media. I've had media brainwash me.
Everyone wants to be a better person.
Life is too short and too tough to screw yourself up by programming your brain with a bunch of trash.
Remember, TV, movies, radio, they're all in it for the money.
Unfortunately, sex and violence sell. The more they give us, the more we want to see.
But you can decide for yourself to stop putting that stuff in your head.
Be smart about what you watch and listen to.
Talk to a counselor, teacher, or youth leader who can help you make good decisions on what